Hello,
Welcome
everybody.
to Natural Habitat Adventures Daily Dose of Nature. Today's topic: explore wild Costa Rica. Small in size, big on biodiversity. Presented by NatHab Expedition Leader Alex Arias. I'm your host, Rob Mess. Thank you so much for being here with us today. Take it away, Alex.
Okay, thank you, Rob. Hi, everybody. It's good to be here. Greetings from Costa Rica, from the sunny Costa Rica, because we have the sun for the first time like in 2 weeks. We're in the transition time right now, so I'm very excited. Thank you for joining us this afternoon to learn a little bit about Costa Rica and things that you need to know before you go or before you travel to Costa Rica with natural habitat. Um, all right. First of all, I would like to share our mission, which is for me an inspiration. Uh, Exploration through conservation to exploration. How cool is that? As I told you, this for me, this is like a I don't know, it's an inspiration every time I take people around Costa Rica. The way we're trying to protect every area of Costa Rica, every place that we visit. So, okay, let's do this. So to start, this is, I don't know if you're familiar with Costa Rica is. Um, this little tiny green country right here between this big mass of land, North America and South America, make this country a magical place with maybe 0.03% of the Earth's surface. We host maybe 5% of the biodiversity in the world. Costa Rica is the size of West Virginia, but we have more than 930 species of birds, 249 mammals, and with a population of 3.5 million people. As you know, we have two different trips in Costa Rica, plus other trips that are custom trips. But I want to talk about these two trips that some of you are gonna take in the next in a few weeks. So first of all, Costa Rica Wilderness Explorer. It's an adventure of days. We visit the Caribbean, the South Pacific, mid elevations, and of course the Caribbean foothill of Costa Rica. And they have the jewels of Costa Rica, 8 days. Visit the rainforest and the highlands of Costa Rica. To be more specific, guys, the wilderness Costa Rica. This is a trip that is 8 days, told you, and we start in San Jose. We spend 2 nights in San Jose. We visit a volcano. We take a coffee tour. This is more like a cultural introduction of Costa Rica. From the Central Valley, we go to the south, to the Golfo Dulce, and we stay in a place called Tisquita Jungle Lodge, which is one of my favorite places in Costa Rica because all the wildlife that we get to see there. From there, we move to the highlands. We're talking about the Talamanca Mountain Range, cloud forest, where you can see a quetzal. And from there, it's a Cerro La Muerte. And from there, we go back to San Jose, and then you go home from there. For the jewels of Costa Rica, this is a longer trip. We start again in San Jose. From San Jose, we move to Tortuguero. From Tortuguero, we go to the south, to the Osa Peninsula. From the Osa Peninsula, we have to travel back to San Jose, and then we drive to the cloud forest of Monteverde. From Monteverde, we move to Arenal. And from Arenal, we go back to San Jose. Again, guys, this is I want to tell about what you need to know before you travel or you visit Costa Rica. I don't want to go day by day, specific from every day. So I want just to give you a little brief of what you need to do or what you need to know, and especially what you need to pack when you travel to Costa Rica. Simple. So you ready to pack? Okay. So I would recommend, of course, passport. You don't need a visa to visit Costa Rica. Sometimes is the immigration officer is a little bored. He's going to ask you the address or your hotel. They want to know where you're staying. So it will be handy to have that information with you. Very important. don't forget any medication you may need and keep it in your carry-on luggage. These days you never know with all the products the airlines are carrying. Sometimes better to have it with you. So I would say t-shirts, maybe 3 t-shirts are useful. I recommend a couple of quick drying shirts. Remember, Costa Rica is a tropical country and the humidity can reach sometimes 90%. On every trip, we can have one day 90 degrees and the next day we have 60 degrees, especially when we move from the lowlands to the highlands of Costa Rica. What else? Pants. Those quick drying pants, lightweight pants, easy to pack and very useful in Costa Rica. As I told you, temperature is different. A sweater or a fleece is very helpful, especially because in both itineraries we visit highlands where temperature could reach 50 degrees on the CRX or even 65 in the joules. That's the coolest temperature in both trips. Remember, in Costa Rica, I always say we have 2 seasons, rainy season and really rainy season. It really is more like dry season and rainy season. You never know when it's going to rain in Costa Rica. So rain gear, it's a must to have in Costa Rica. Even though most of our trips are planned in the dry season, again, you never know. It can rain any day, at any time in Costa Rica. So underwear is important. You know, even though most of the hotel offers laundry service, better to have it and not needed than needed and not to have it. Shorts, again, shorts may be very comfortable for some of the walks that we have to do in both of the trips. Extra socks. I always recommend to bring a lot of socks to Costa Rica because, again, you can get wet and it's nicer to have dry socks. Also, in some places and some of the hotels, depends on the weather, they offer you rubber boots, and it's easier to wear rubber boots with very high socks. Cap or hat is highly recommended in Costa Rica. Don't forget your sunglasses, very important. A day pack and a water bottle that I imagine you already received from us or you're about to receive before you go on the trip. Binoculars can be very useful. Also, all your expedition leaders have, or we always carry spotting scopes that we can share with everybody on the trip. For those into photography, don't forget your camera. You know, these days smartphones have amazing cameras, so we get all variety of different people with phones and cameras, and don't forget them. A flashlight, we highly recommend. In some places, most of the time we're doing 1 or 2 night walks on every trip, so flashlight is going to be very useful and recommended. Some cash just in case you need to buy souvenirs or anything else, pay for alcoholic drinks that are not included. Other than that, all the meals and everything, it's included on the trip. So don't forget any chargers or cables for your electronic equipment. It's really hard to find them here in Costa Rica. Very important, don't forget, especially people that bring cameras, don't forget your chargers. In Costa Rica, we do not have the next day delivery, and sometimes it's not easy to get a charger or adapter here in Costa Rica. Okay, so now that you're done packing, it's time to fly to Costa Rica. You are going to land in the international airport called Juan Santa Maria in San Jose, Costa Rica. Once you go to customs, you will have to go and find your luggage at the carousel. Don't worry, Costa Rican airport is a very small airport, only 3 carousels for luggage. Once you get your luggage, you clear customs, you go out the airport. Once you go out, it's going to be a crazy place. There are going to be a lot of people. A lot of people offer you taxi, a lot of people offer you transportation. Calm down. All you have to do is choose for a sign like this with your name. And assure you there's going to be a person there with your name that is going to take you to your hotel. If you are on the Costa Rica Wilderness Explorer, you are staying at the Sandari Hotel Resort, which is about, you're staying 2 nights there, and which is about half an hour or 30 minutes from the airport to the hotel, depending on traffic. You will meet your expedition leader at the lobby, normally at 6 p.m. for an orientation briefing, and you will meet the rest of the group, and you will all together have a welcome dinner at the hotel. If you are on the Jules of Costa Rica, you're going to stay in a different hotel. That would be the Marriott Hotel. The first night, it will take about 20 minutes to get from the airport to the hotel, again, depending on traffic. And once again, you will meet your expedition leader 6 p.m. at the lobby, and you have a welcome dinner and orientation briefing to meet the rest of the participants on the trip. Of course, we all care about safety of water we drink. Once again, when you travel with us, you don't have to worry. Also, all the hotels we will visit on this trip, uh, they will provide a drinkable water, and we will always have bottled water, whether it's in the car, in the boats, or when we're hiking. We always will have extra waters, bottled water with us, so you don't have to worry. Costa Rica have water, drinkable water, maybe 98% of the country. Okay, I got a question the other day by email, and some of you may hear about the increase of dengue fever cases in Costa Rica. Actually, this is correct, but this happens about a month ago or 8 weeks ago. We have a enormous increase in the cases, but it came down in about 90% in the last 2 weeks. However, this increase of cases, we're focusing one specific in 2 or 3 specific areas that we are not going to be even closer to those areas. Um, you can check the CDC, the website, the CDC for recommendations, because I'm not a doctor. Or you can ask your doctor, but most of the places that we're gonna visit, you're gonna be surprised the lack of very little mosquitoes that we can encounter. So you have to relax in that point there. So transportation, everybody. So we're gonna use three type of vehicles in Costa Rica. When you were driving, we're gonna use a car like this. This is a Mitsubishi Rosa. We can sit there 20 people, but as you know, all our groups go up to 10 people. So we will guarantee that there's a window per person on the trip. Also, we're gonna spend some time in a boat like this, whether it will be in the Jules or you will be in the Explorer. We're gonna spend some time on the ocean or in canals in a boat like this. As you can see in the picture, it's a little bit crowded, but the happiness, this is a whole family. So that's why you see more than 10 people on this photo. Airplanes. In both trips, we have to take a little airplane. I mean, little, but we can fit 15 people in those airplanes. These are Cessnas 206. When you travel from San Jose to Tortuguero, from Tortuguero to Corcovado, or when you go from San Jose to the Golfo Dulce, we will be using this type of airplanes. This is another type of boat that we're gonna use, especially when you are on the Explorer. When we explore the Golfo Dulce, this is the boat you're gonna use. By the way, these are your expedition leaders in Costa Rica. Every season we take time and we go and explore. Even though we've done the trip many times, once a year we go and do the whole trip again. Okay, the food, everybody, the food. Don't worry, we got you covered. We can satisfy all your dietary needs, allergies, or food preferences. We we want you to feel safe when you're traveling with us. Just let us know if you have any restrictions or any allergies, and we will take care of everything in Costa Rica or during the trip. That makes me hungry. Remember, I will be happy to go to your questions at the end of the presentation. The weather in Costa Rica. This is important. One of the frequently asked questions is how the weather will be like tomorrow. And when you ask your expedition leader, look at his face because we don't know. We cannot predict the weather because we don't have that many weather stations. Like this photo, see, these two photos are 5 minutes apart. It's nice and sunny, and then 5 minutes later, boom, big rain. So again, you have to be ready for any kind of uh, conditions in the weather in Costa Rica. You're gonna hear the word wet landing. So this is a little video so you have a better idea what a wet landing looks like. And again, this I know this is kind of scary for some people, but this is like the worst case scenario. All you have to do is go to the boat, don't put your leg up like that. All you have to do is sit like that and bend your legs in the boat. And as you can see, there are a lot of people there helping us to get in and out of that boat. The only time we do wet landing it's when we travel from Tortuguero to Corcovado to the Drake Lake area, and this happens in the Jules of Costa Rica. I know there are a lot of things that you wanna or you expecting to see in Costa Rica. Let's go through this a little bit. So this is a view of Tortuguero. When you go to Tortuguero, you can only get there by boat or by plane, and this is the scenery that you're gonna enjoy there. You know, for me or for all of us guides, it's so hard to do these presentations because it's so hard to talk to the computer. I like to see people's face when we talk. Another view here, this is a canal in Tortuguero. You will spend some time in a little boat exploring a small canal like this with lots of wildlife. As I told you, every night or every other night, we like to do a night walk, and this is the type of things that we will see in a night walk. Beautiful frogs like this red tree frog. Beautiful. That's probably the more beautiful frog in Costa Rica. When we go hiking, this photo is from Corcovado. I want you to notice that everybody's wearing rubber boots. Especially the first trips after the rainy season, we're going to encounter a lot of mud, a lot of water on the trails. So we offer rubber boots to just to protect your shoes a little bit. And you may think that these people is posing for a picture, but they're not. They're taking a photo of this little guy, which is another tree frog in Corcovado. Or the scenery, this is a beach in the South Pacific. You're gonna find these beaches even in the Jules or in the Explorer. This is the type of beaches that you're gonna encounter in Costa Rica, and we do not recommend to go swimming because, as you can see, it's very rocky, and we have a lot of reef types in these places. Every morning we do a little early morning walk. This is from Corcovado. This is a big group of Coarimundis that came to say hi before breakfast. Another thing that we may encounter in some of our hikes is one of these big guys. This is a tapir, a danta. Some people call it tapir, some people call this tapir, but we call it in Espanol a danta. This is the biggest terrestrial mammal in Costa Rica. And if we're lucky, maybe we can run into one of these big guys, especially in Corcovado or in Cerro de la Muerte. One of the things that I enjoy and I have a blast when I see monkeys like this. If we're lucky, we can get at the right place at the right time, and you will see monkeys jumping like from one tree to the next tree. Look at that. True. This guy People into photography crazy trying to get their own air. And sometimes people ask me, don't do they miss sometimes? Look at these two monkeys there. The whole branch broke. But don't worry, as she was going down, she got another branch and she was okay. That was a mom with a younger monkey. Scenery. This is the Arenal volcano, part of the scenery that you will enjoy on a trip with us. Um, of course, people want to see toucans. This is the Kill Bill toucan. This is Toucan Sam, the more colorful toucan that we have in Costa Rica. Another type of toucan, this is the yellow-throated toucan, the largest toucan we have in Costa Rica. Um, Very common to see these both species of toucans on the trips. Most of the scenery, this is osprey eagle. Ospreys are migratory, but normally we see them on the trips. People want to see macaws. These are scarlet macaws, a big group of scarlet macaws flying. From big birds, we can also see small birds. This is, in my opinion, one of the more beautiful hummingbirds in Costa Rica. It's about 4 inches, but with that coloration, it's impossible to not to see them. Another type of toucan, northern emerald toucanet. This is a toucan that live high in the cloud forest in higher elevations. This bird, not too colorful, is our national bird, clay-colored thrush. I know your question is why you have picked that very simple bird as your natural bird with all those colorful birds that we have in Costa Rica. It was picked by politicians, but it's a whole different story. So two more toucans is firebill aracari and color aracari. One you will see in the South Pacific and the other one you will see on the Caribbean side of Costa Rica. Remember, we have about 5% of the whole biodiversity in the world. You're gonna say too many birds, but no, we have also all kinds of amphibians and reptiles like this again, red-eyed tree frog, one of the species that we can normally see every day in our hikes. Howler monkeys and spider monkeys, also very common to see them in both of the trips. In Costa Rica, we have 4 species of monkeys, and we can see on the Jules, we can see 3 species of monkeys. On the other trip, we can see 4 species. This is a must to see. This is what most of the people wanted to see in Costa Rica. This is a resplendent quetzal, the jewels of the cloud forest. Natural bird from Guatemala, but I would say it's easier to see them when you are here in Costa Rica. We go from big animals, beautiful birds, to little tiny frogs. This is a strawberry poison dart frog, very toxic, very little, it's about inch long, and we're lucky we can get to see these guys while we will be hiking in the rainforest. Beautiful sunsets on every trip. Of course, we always encourage to have moments of mindfulness. After a long day, we like to just get a drink and enjoy the sunset with the whole group. Look at this guy. This is what people call it Jesus Christ lizard. It's an emerald basiliscus. They call it Jesus Christ because you can see them running across water. They're very photogenic, by the way. Okay, white-faced capuchin monkeys, I think they changed the name to white-throated monkeys these days. It's a proposal, scientists don't have nothing else to do in the wintertime, so they start thinking of changing names to make our life as guys more complicated. Um, of course, another thing that people really want to see when they travel to Costa Rica is this guy. This is a sloth. This is a three-toed sloth. with a baby, just feeding from a type of tree called pachira. Sorry about the shaking. I was in a boat with a group, so I was trying to get some footage of the video of this three-toed sloth. Speaking of wildlife, these are, I want to introduce some of your expedition leaders in Costa Rica. This is Julio Madrid. You probably already know who's going to be your guide for your trip. This is Julio. And they have Jimmy Toso. This very handsome guy is me, Alex. Or Nick Morrison, another expedition leader in Costa Rica. The youngest one of us, this is Roy Valverde. Esteban Viamonte. Some of you that have visited Costa Rica before know some of these guys. And last but not least, this is Marco Fallas. Before we finish, I want to just go again, go through the trip again. The Costa Rica Wilderness Explorer. Remember, you start in San Jose. You spend 2 nights in San Jose. From San Jose, you go to the south, to the Golfito. You say in Golfo Dulce and Tisquita Jungle Lodge. From there, you will move to Cerro de la Muerte. And from Cerro de la Muerte, you will go back to San Jose. And on the Jules, which is a longer trip, you start in San Jose. You go to the lowlands of the Caribbean on Tortuguero. From Tortuguero, you fly across the country to the South Pacific, to another national park called Corcovado National Park. From there, you will travel back to San Jose. From San Jose, you will be transferred to the cloud forest in Monteverde. And from Monteverde, you travel to Arenal. And from Arenal, you will go back to San Jose. This will be these are the 2 trips that we have in Costa Rica. Now it's time, when we finish, it's time to go back to real life and start preparing for your trip. No, that's it. Thank you very much, guys. I want to know, I would like to answer some of your questions.
All right, thank you, Alex. Now, before we start in with the question and answer session, I would like to remind everyone that you can submit your questions via the question field in your control panel. So just head over to the top right corner of your screen where you'll see those 3 lines, and you can drop that down and click on questions and submit them in there. All right, so let's get to them. So if I need walking sticks, Alex, will they be available for me, or should I bring them?
Yes, we will have walking sticks available. Don't expect to have one of those fancy sticks, fiberglass or not. We make our own. We have pieces of wood, and there's going to be available for hikes on every hotel, on every place that we go.
So if we're traveling, say, on an extension after the Costa Rica trip, and we need to bring some extra luggage, is there a place that we can leave that?
Sure, no problem. You can start at the hotel, or even in the transportation we use when we take us to the airport. You can leave whatever you don't need for that trip in the car, and then you will get that once we came back to San Jose, for example. So you don't have to worry about that. It is possible to storage whatever you need.
Good to know. Thank you so much. Now, you mentioned the rubber boots. Now, is that something I need to bring with me, or is that something that app will provide for me?
No, absolutely not. Every hotel, they provide that. I only recommend to use those if the weather is the condition of the trail, and your guide will tell you if the condition of the trail is really muddy and really wet. I will recommend that. Otherwise, just prefer to use just your shoes if you're not used to wear rubber boots. But you don't have to bring them. We will provide those when you need
Good.
it. And the only place that you really need rubber boots will be in Corcovado, and only maybe in November and beginning of December. If you travel after that, you don't have to worry.
Gotcha. Thank you so much. So, as far as the power goes, are we going to just need an adapter for our plug, or do we actually need a voltage converter?
No, actually, we in Costa Rica, we have the same adapter that you use in the United States. It's 110 or 120, so you don't need any adapter.
Aha, great to know. Thank you so much. What about Wi-Fi? Will there be available Wi-Fi at the lodges?
Yes, and they're getting better and better. In some of the lodges, sometimes it's a little bit complicated, a little too slow, but they're getting better every time that I visit the hotel. They have been improving the speed and the Wi-Fi. Worst case scenario, you only have Wi-Fi in the main areas like the restaurant or reception, but it's getting better. I will not be surprised if you will get Wi-Fi from your room on every hotel on the next trip.
Gotcha. Thank you. So, can we confirm that you're saying on the trip is there going to be no swimming or snorkeling even on the Jules trip?
No, we don't offer snorkeling anymore, and some of the hotels they have swimming pools. I would not recommend to go swimming at the ocean. Maybe on the wilderness, maybe depends on the tide. You can go swimming when the tide is coming in, but on the Jules, I would not recommend to go swimming. Even though we visit the Caribbean and then the Pacific side, the riptides and there are sharks, and believe it or not, there are crocodiles in the water, especially in the South Pacific.
Gotcha. Thank you. So, besides our regular hiking boots or sandals, do we need waterproof shoes? Should we have waterproof shoes?
This is a great question. The only time you will need like waterproof shoes is getting in and out of the boat when you do the wet landing. But sandals will be even better. So I don't see the reason to bring waterproof shoes.
Gotcha. And would you recommend a closed-toe shoe as opposed to, or you think a sandal is okay?
Getting in and out of the boat, sandals are okay. For go hiking, definitely closed toe shoes. And sometimes people they think that those kings they have protected the toe. Those I know there's are closed toe shoes, but I don't want people to hike in the forest with kings. They need closed shoes.
So how difficult is the hiking going to be on this trip? What kind of physical shape should I be in to come on the trip?
You know, don't worry about that because we can go as long as you want to. I know sometimes people have special requirements, or they can work for a mile or two. Other people can work for 3 or 5 miles. If that's the case, we always have somebody extra help with us. So again, we can go as long as the people want, and for those who want to go for a longer hike, we can always have another guide with us, so we can go. We extend our hikes.
Good to know. Thank you, Alex. So what about vaccinations? Are there any requirements for me to get specific vaccinations to come down to Costa Rica?
No, as far as I know, we don't have any requirement in Costa Rica. When you travel to South America, in some places they require yellow fever shot, but no, in Costa Rica we do not require any shots.
All right, so let's talk about bugs. Are we going to have any issues with mosquitoes or bugs? Do we need mosquito repellent, anything like that?
Your expedition leader, we always have extra bug spray in the car, but you're gonna be surprised the lack of mosquitoes. We almost have no mosquitoes. In some places, and we will know until we get there, we will let you know if you have to use a bug spray. Otherwise, just feel free, relax with that. Even though again, sometimes with people, they say, I'm going to Costa Rica and going to the rainforest. You think the rainforest is full of mosquitoes, but no, you're going to be surprised the lack of mosquitoes that we have here.
Thank you so much. Good to know. So, are we going to have any luck in seeing some of the big cats?
Not going to win the lottery if I buy lottery this weekend. I don't know. We've been lucky. Sometimes we have reports that people seeing them, but in Costa Rica, we have 6 different species of cats. Not easy to see them, of course, but we always try to do our best to show as much as we can. But we cannot promise that we're gonna see a cat.
Gotcha. Thank you. So when I get to the airport, will there be a NatHab person to meet me there, even if I'm coming in a day early?
Yes, even if you came a day or 2 day early, they always going to be and I have representative right there with a sign with your name to take you to your hotel.
All right, good to know. Um, so should I bring my own rain poncho? Is that a good idea, or will there be rain ponchos available for me?
There will be rain ponchos when we spend time on a boat. We have rain ponchos. When we go for a hike, we do not provide those because it's not easy to hike with ponchos in the forest. So a rain jacket would be ideal.
Gotcha. So for the in-country flights, are there additional luggage requirements? Is there a weight requirement? Are we going to need
There,
much?
there is a weight requirement. It's 40 pounds for your check bag and about 10 for your carry on.
Gotcha. Thank you.
But it's
Uh,
important to mention something here because one of the flights, especially with the Wilderness Costa Rica, you can send because we're gonna send a driver with everything, so you can send your extra luggage with the drivers. Once we fly and once we get there, you're gonna have everything with you if you don't put that in the plane.
gotcha. Thank you for clarifying that. So can you talk about Skita a little bit? Yeah, is there any amenities there? We see that the showers are outside, um, but how comfortable is it?
It's very comfortable. You will see the showers are outside, but it's like an indoor shower with no walls to the outside. You know what I mean? It's beautiful.
Good to know.
There's no
Um,
air conditioner, but you don't need it there. There's no TVs, there's no phones, so you're gonna be in the forest. That's the whole idea. You get a full experience.
Sounds wonderful. What about money? Are American dollars okay, or do I need to convert to local currency?
No, again, all the meals and everything is included on the trip. Um, yeah, you can use dollars anywhere. If you have to pay for anything, they take dollars or credit card. So don't exchange any money at the airport because they give you an awful exchange rate, and you're gonna be ended with bunch of coins in your pocket. So you can use dollars to pay.
Gotcha. Good to know. Um, let's see. What about monkeys? Are we going to see a lot of different monkeys?
Yeah, let me see. I can normally see the future of the people, and I see some monkeys in the future of every trip. In Costa Rica, we have four species of monkeys. On the jungles of Costa Rica, we can see three species of monkeys because there's one species that only live in the South Pacific. On the wilderness of Costa Rica, we can have the chance to see four species of monkeys. But I would say yes, if I can have to promise that you're gonna see one animal on this trip, it will be monkeys.
All right. I love monkeys. That'd be great. So, what about malaria pills? Would you recommend bringing those?
You know, I am not a doctor, as I said before, and I know some of the doctors recommend malaria pills, but the cases of malaria that we have, for example, this year, are from the Caribbean, but part of the South, and some of them were imported. So honestly, I live here, I've been all over the place in Costa Rica, and I have never taken malaria pills. But I want to leave that to every single person and a recommendation on their doctors.
Good idea. Um, so one of our guests is asking about the boats. They didn't see any backpacks on the people in the boats. Are they with us all the time, or do they not go in the boats?
They're on the boats, but when we get in the boat, we pack everything in dry bags. So we don't want to get things wet. When we're in an open boat, that means it's in a day tour, and you can bring your backpack. But again, only if you need to bring something like, snacks or water or something, but we also provide that. So
So if I do have a nice camera, do you recommend bringing a telephoto lens? Do you have any recommendations on that?
Uh, I've seen everything. I've seen people taking pictures through my scope, and I have seen people bringing 600 plants. So yeah,
Got
you can bring.
perfect. So at what elevation will we be hiking on the Wilderness Explorer?
That's a very good question. On the Wilderness Explorer, one day you're gonna go from ocean level up to 11,000 feet above sea level, but you're not gonna be hiking much in there. Most of the hikes are gonna, I would say, about 8,000, 7,000, 8,000 feet above sea level.
Gotcha. Thank you. Um, so binoculars, should we bring our own or will there be enough to share?
No, I would recommend you bring your own. It's easier. You can share, and then sometimes there's a bird and there's swine, and you have 10 people. It's just easier to bring your own binoculars.
Gotcha. Thank you. Um, what are the chances of seeing a kestrel? Are both trips just equally as likely to see them?
Yes, in Costa Rica, I always say, and this is kind of like a joke, we have 3 seasons to see quetzals. We have the easy season, the maybe season, and the forget about season. And most of our trips are between the maybe season and the easy season.
Gotcha. What
So I
about
would say 95% of the time we get to see quetzals.
good? Thank you so much. What about sloths? Is there a particular trip I should go on to if I am interested in seeing them?
Wow, that's a very good question. Both trips have opportunity to see slots. Yeah, equal two-toed and three-toed slot. In Tisquita, they have a forest there, and I have seen many slots there. On the Jules, we go to 3 different places, and I have seen slots on every single place.
Great, thank you. So, would you say that there one trip or the other there you have an equal chance of seeing a variety of animal species?
For sure. I would say, they go to different areas. Um, the Jules is a longer trip, so you have chances to see more wildlife, but you're gonna see more of the same. Let's say you're gonna see a sloth every day, and you're gonna see toucans every day. But with longer time in Costa Rica, you have more chances to see wildlife, even though you see the same type of wildlife every day.
Great, thank you. And will we be going to any small native areas where they sell local items that we may purchase?
We're gonna drive by. That for us, that's like the worst question because we don't normally go to what we call tourist traps. We don't like to. If people want to do, of course, we will do. We can stop in one of those souvenir places. We're definitely gonna drive by those places, but that's not one of our goals. We don't really uh, want to take people there. The only time and the only reason we stop in some places is because they have very clean bathrooms.
Aha, bathrooms. Good to know. Um, so if all of us are on the trip, we're taking some photos and we want to share them with each other. Is there a way that we can do that that's set up by NatHab?
I'm so glad that you mentioned that. Now I have the base idea. We have what we call the portal, the adventure portal. You as a traveler, you will get access to the portal. You can share your own pictures there, and you can see everybody's picture. And this is an amazing idea. The portal, when you see all these pictures. If you don't know how to get there, I will be happy, or your expedition leader will be happy to share and teach you how to access the website.
Thank you for that. That'd be great. Um, so let's talk about passports. Are they something that we need to carry with us at all times, or will they be a secure place to store them in the hotels?
Every hotel, most of the hotel, they have. Once you go to the airport, you don't need your passport. You can put it away, and every hotel have safes in your rooms that you can put them. But nobody's gonna ask you for your passport when you are in Costa Rica outside the airport.
Good to know. So when we are at the hotel, what kind of toiletries will be available for me? Do I need to bring my own shampoo, conditioner, and soap, or will that be provided?
No, no. Every hotel will provide all the toiletries that you need, shampoo, soap, everything. So you don't have to worry about any of that.
Gotcha.
And
Any
if you need something that is not there, just tell your expedition leader. We can make magic. Whatever you need, just let us know, and we will get it for you. That's the beauty of traveling with us.
Yeah, the guides are magical. I can tell you that from personal experience. Um,
Yeah, you can challenge your guy.
I'm sure they enjoy that.
Yeah.
Um, what about zip lining? Is there any option for zip lining in the rainforest?
Yes, especially on the Jules, you will have a chance to do, if you know, this is not included, but there's one of the best places to do zip lining in Costa Rica would be in Arenal, and we can make it sure that you will have some free time to go and enjoy that activity. They have an extra cost, of course, but yeah, just talk to your expedition leader and we will make a reservation for you.
Gotcha. That sounds great. Um, so let's see. Is it possible for me to combine the two trips?
Oh, for sure, for sure. I have a lot of people, and I've seen a lot of people that do the trip back to back. And the trips, not sure of the date is this time, but trips are designs that you can join one, and then you can go back to the next one. And that's a great idea. Once you're in Costa Rica, why not take advantage of that?
Exactly. I
Big
think
percentage of the people is willing to do that.
that sounds great. Well, Alex, it looks like that it's going to be the last question that we do have time for today. So I'd like to hand it back to you for any closing comments you may have for us.
Um, no, as I always tell people, for me, it's really hard to talk to a computer. I can talk about Costa Rica for hours, but it won't be the same. I like to see the people. I like to see their faces. I like to show people our country, and um, we as Costa Ricans, we are different tour guides. We have to go to, tourist places, but we want you to experience Costa Rica through the eyes of a local. So I promise you that you're gonna have the best experience of your life when you travel with us here in Costa Rica. And I can't wait to meet some of you in the few weeks.
All right. Alex, thank you so much for taking the time to present for us today. And I'd also like to thank everyone who tuned in today. Now, if you are interested in information on how you can travel with NatHab, please give us a call at 800-543-8917, or you can send us an email at info@nathab.com. Our adventure specialists are happy to help you out. Join us tomorrow for our next daily dose of nature. You can check out this week's lineup, including registration links on our website at nadhab.com/webinars. We did record today's presentation, and we will have the replay available on our website soon. With that, I will conclude today's webinar. Goodbye, everybody. We'll see you next time.